At ngayon naman, makakapanayam natin sa studio ang NCAA analyst na si Martin Antonio para pag-usapan ang ongoing NCAA tournament. March, good evening. Welcome to the score. Salamat sa pagdayo mo dito. Alam ko, wet and wild sa labas.
Oo, hindi lang wet
Galing
and
ka
wild.
pa sa game.
Bakbakan talaga yung
Bakbakan sa traffic.
Parang yung laro kanina, mga laro natin.
Okay, we're almost halfway through the first round with each team having at least 3 or 4 games gone by. Medyo a little early to make some impressions, but first impressions, let's put it this way. Anong nakikita mo so far? Let's start with the ones that are surprising you in a good way na, well, okay to, they're doing pretty well.
Well, the most surprising part for me was the Mapua Cardinals really staking the claim that they're finals and a championship contender, so to speak. Allwell Oraime, dinadala yung team niya, and the younger guys, yung mga small guys nila, has been stepping up, exhibiting. Another veteran guy, Andoy Estrella, has been really playing well for the Mapua Cardinals.
Okay. There are teams, of course, that are at the bottom. Binil's there, of course, Lyceum's there. San Sebastian is also there towards the bottom. Is it any surprise for you kung bakit na doon pa sila, or talagang this will be a year of struggle and rebuilding for these 3 teams at least?
Well, if you
even AYAC na nasama natin,
even if AYAC, if you look at those teams, the College of St. Benilde has the youngest roster.
Right.
They have at least 9 or 10 guys who are
first and second
year, according to Coach Gabby Velasquez. It's a really a process of growing.
So yan talaga yung
yun talaga. As I was sharing nung coverage, during the 05 season, my team almost didn't beat anyone. And then the following year, we won the championship. So it's really
may ganong moment talaga eh. May taste na magpapabog ka. Yeah. It's really hard to maintain a very competitive team every year in college ball.
And with the other 2 teams na nabanggit natin, ang Recoletos ng San Sebastian College and ang EAC Generals, bago ang coach nila. So it's a new system. But I am very impressed with how Coach Egay Macaraya has been putting in the toughness that the San Sebastian program has been very well known for. And part ng champion team ng 85 yung si Coach Egay Macaraya. So he knows what it takes to win as a player and championship coach din siya.
May pagka-formin na ng Alvin Ayo ng Letana, getting a former top player to lead the team. Okay. AYAC naman, you saw that game, you did that game kanina. Close one against
Mapua. Very close one. Surprisingly close one. Dahil Allwell Oraime is, as you said, wet and wild outside. Under the weather.
Under the weather siya.
Maganda ang inilaro ng EAC Generals towards the end of the game, except for that costly turnover and the missed shot. But overall, they're very competitive. They improved a lot. Their import improved a lot. Yeah, they're getting there.
Okay. Well, let's break it down a bit to the contenders na everybody's saying naman that are up there. Of course, JRU should be one of those contenders. They themselves believe that they should be contender as well to make it to the Final Four. How do you assess ang JRU so far this season?
The JRU Heavy Bombers came out of the gates somewhat stumbling. They lost 3 out of their 4 games. They have been the best defensive team of the NCAA, only allowing their opponents at below 63 points, 62.7.
Yet losing 3 games.
Yet losing 3 games. Because, again, they have a one-man scoring army in Tate Chodoro, who's a stocky guard, could score like it's going out of style. Paulo Ponteo stepped up during their first win, pero they need more. They need more production from their big guys. And from their imports, Abdel Patucci has been a shell of himself. Maybe it's his haircut because he shaved off all his hair. And
masyado magaang.
Si Abdul Razak naman is really a defensive stalwart. So they need more production out of them.
They were here the other night actually, itong JRU, and it might raise some eyebrows for some people na sinabi ng ibang guys na yung opensa hindi na namin pinapakialaman, okay na dun si Tate at saka si Paulo. Should that be a concern na they're just relegating themselves to be the defenders, the screeners, and then just let the 2 guys do the scoring?
Well, it would be okay if you had Kevin Durant and Steph Curry on your team, di ba? But on a program like JRU, it's by committee. You really need to pa-chani-chani, kumbaga sa atin sa interbarangay. Dagdag kayo, 2 puntos, 4 na puntos, dadagdagan. You can't expect Tate Chodoro to score like 20 in a game. He's averaging around 19. So, madidepensahan at madidepensahan yan.
Arellano, before that, the where they're at now, I think they're 2-1 if I'm not mistaken. Before they didn't play today. How do you see the Perps contending this year and how their start so far?
They have a very good import in Bright Acueti. Since last year, he has been staking the claim that he might be the second best to Allwell Oraime. But they need to have more local production. Sir Keith Pido, itong si Gab Dagangon, who has been given a bigger role right now. Yung mga Gilbert Malabanan role na yan. Na kailangan step up, step score, rebound, do everything. And they're up there fighting for, I think, personally, I think they're fighting for that 4th spot.
Okay.
It's a Final Four na yan.
Well, speaking of Final Four, of course, very early, pero so far, ito yung top 4. You got Arellano, Letran, San Beda, and Mapua. You know, that's the 4-1. That's Arellano, of course, that kid who does it all, the bus driver. My goodness. As in, literally, when I saw the stats, parang he's #1 in scoring, #1 in assists, and #1 in steals. At siya daw naglalabat, nagluluto sa dorm.
Nakalimutan mo, siya rin may dalang abrelata.
Siya rin, okay.
Siya rin yung nagbubukas yan. But, again, Gio
Lahat
Alalo.
eh.
Oh, lahat eh. He is really the stirrer to the drink. That is the Arellano Chiefs. The bus driver nga kung tawagin natin. He parks the bus, he takes care of everything. Even does the laundry for them. Ang laking bagay with this experience with the national team, when he was training also with the senior team. Ang laking bagay niyan, 24-8 and 3.7 steals. And 3:1 assist to turnover ratio. It's a very big deal. And you have the Kent Salado na exposed din sa commercial leagues. At isama mo pa din yung very promising nila na rookie na si Lervin Flores, so very athletic, controls the boards. It gives him a different dynamic from last year. They're really an up-tempo team.
Okay, and do they feel the confidence enough to be, you know, one of the top teams, if not one of the teams to beat talaga this season?
Well, during the preseason, they were tabbed as the team that might take the crown this year. But of course, bilog ang bola eh. Tumatalbog yan, nilalaro ang laro. The sunsets at night. So kailangan laruin yung mga games na yan eh.
Okay. Next there on the list, Letran, who might be surprising people with their 3-1, or did they play today?
Yes,
yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
Considering ang dami nilang nawalan from head coach and, you know, coaching staff as well, and then of course
their top 2 players,
Cruz and the top 2 players. How has Jeff Napa put this thing together so soon and still have a good start, or is it, you know, so far their first 4 matchups have been relatively easy naman to get into?
Well, relatively easy is a relative term because every team is tough.
Correct.
Jeff Napa really Coach Jeff maximized the pieces that is around him. Small ball lineup. You never see a 6'1" power forward, and he did it with Bong Quinto. Reminiscent of the Ronje and Riley days. Kasi ito yung juniors program nila yan eh. Quinto, Balagasa, Reynang Batak, even the small guy Calvo came from their program on the juniors, and these guys know how to play with each other rather, and nilalaro nila yung dribble drive offense so it's a spread offense, equal opportunity, they can attack, and they have 4 attackers on a certain time, so nakagamit nila yung advantage.
May overspill ba ng confidence from winning the championship last year?
Definitely. Kumbaga, parang ka nakashoot ng unang basket mo sa Araneta, hindi pa dumidikit yung sapatos mo sa lapag niyan di ba?
Okay. Alright, you got San Beda, of course, up there as well, 4-0 after their game today. Nakakatuwa to see Coach Jamaic, you know, insisting, wag niyo akong pakialaman sa sistema ko. 15-man rotation. Talagang everybody is used and everybody's maximized as much as possible. Does it make them harder to scout? I mean, you got 15 guys playing in any given night. Someone can step up.
Yes, 15 guys on that rotation. High school pa lang ako, ginagawa niya ni Coach Jamaic. Kalaban namin sila ni juniors. And he trusts his guys. He empowers them. And it's a different look for the San Beda Red Lions. It's not the usual that you have. You have the Sam Eques of the world, the Sudan Daniels, the Pong Escobals, but they're using that speed. It's a different component. You have the Von Pats, they have William Navarro, who's very, very productive for them. He's not a stat sheet stuffer, but he dictates the defense, and the other guys are really stepping up. So yung depensa nila nagdadala sa kanila.
Okay, last but not least, up there also, Mapua naman, MIT. Kamusta naman ang start nilang in the season?
Well, they have Mr. Barbara Walters with them. Mr. 2020 himself, Olwell Oraime. You can #1 in boards, #2 in scoring, and #1 in blocks. So you can't stress it enough how well they would be playing with him. But they won against EAC without him today. It only shows that their guards are really capable, and 3-guard lineup ang ginagamit ni Coach Atoy ko, and he maximizes it.
Well, with with San Beda and Letran not as strong as last year, do you see the race more wide open this year? Na wala talagang may title favorite.
Well, for me, it's wide open. It's top heavy, wide open. We have the younger teams really trying to get their footing.
But the top 6.
But the top 6 would be intergulpihan yan when it comes to that, and we shall see how the season progresses, diba?
All right, and we got one big game coming up next Friday. Alam ko, San Beda Arellano na next week. So that's one of the big games to look forward to, na isa sa mga unang heavyweight na bakbakan. Kamusta yung matchup nila?
Masusubukan ngayon yung pagtitimon ni bus driver against that trap ni Coach Jamaica rin. And makikita natin if he could really drive that bus to the promised land for the Arellano Chiefs.
Interesting to note there, Dan Sara, who's sa San Beda, kababata pala niya.
Oo,
so
mga
they played together since like they're this small.
Cagayan de Oro boys yan
Exactly. So,
mga kalaro niya ng intertown yan doon.
So all the more, we'll see how interesting that is with Dan trying to help his team defend against, of course, those guys in Arellano. Okay, salamat, March. Thank you for braving the traffic. Mag-jetski na tayo pa uwi.
Pwede yan. Kailangan.
Okay, sa ulitin. Thank you.
For more sports updates, keep watching The Score, and don't forget to subscribe.